Hey there. So just getting ready to cook a little dinner tonight, and I thought I'd tell you about my progress with setting up the project management office for the city where I'll be working. Tonight, I'm going to be making chickpea tomato ragout for my family. So I've already done all my prep work. Let's take a look, see? I've got the tomatoes, which I've diced up. Got the onion, the carrots, some celery, some chickpeas, aka garbanzo beans, some olives, some baby arugula, and a lemon, and some Caesar dressing. And I think it'll be a good meal. My little dog, Rudy, over there is staring at me, and Ollie is just hanging out by the Christmas tree. Emily, my daughter's out with her boyfriend for dinner, so it's just my wife and I tonight. It's all right. Come here. You don't have to run. You don't have to look. Come here. So anyway, what's up with the new job? Well, I'll be starting maybe as soon as next week. We'll see. And that's the thing. So starting from scratch with a project management office, what is that like? Well, this will be the second time for me to do this. The first time was with the County of Riverside, my current employer, where I created a small office for the information technology organization for IT project management. It's functional, it works, we do our thing. We're a small group, but with the projects that we manage using the methodology, we're successful with. And we have governance that basically ensures that we're doing things in a standardized way. And it's a good model. It took me about 5 years to build it up, but there you are. Now, moving on to a city. The city of Ventura here in California. I'll need to do the same thing again. So even though I'm still maybe a week, maybe a couple weeks out from actually my start date, I've started early. And what I've done are two things. First of all, my new boss, the IT manager, and I are trading information. He has sent me compiled a list of his top priority projects. Now I'll be responsible to create a project management office or a project management organization, however you want to define PMO, which will encompass all of the projects for the city. But initially, there's the top priority projects, the ones that are underway, have high priority or due dates, early due dates. So he's sent me that list, as well as a description of what those projects constitute by way of the outgoing project manager's summary. Even though the city doesn't have a project management office of their own, they have they have in the past secured the consulting work of a project manager to run those projects for them. And that person did a very nice job of summarizing the projects, the stakeholders, their status, and the location of the associated documents in their own SharePoint document libraries. So I'll be able to access those when I get there, as soon as I have the credentials to get in. But I have the information. So with that information, I was able to do a little bit of work. I'll tell you about that in a second. But in the meantime, what I've done is I laid out to exchange documents. So the IT manager, who I will be reporting to, he sent me that list of the top priority projects, and I prepared a project management, a PMO charter, a first-year charter consisting of 30-day, 160-day, and first-year goals. So I've mapped out in the course of 12 months what the IT manager can expect of me in building the project management office right off the bat in 30 days, in a month, 6 months down the line, and then a year out. So while he's reviewing that, and he already has, he's returned that back to me with a few changes, but we've got ourselves a charter. While he was doing that, I took the information about the projects and I spun up some SharePoint sites. Now, we use the Q2 project management methodology using a SharePoint infrastructure. SharePoint, of course, being like websites for Microsoft Office 365. And when I first started developing this, I went to the sysadmins, and I was responsible for not only bringing the Department of Social Services for the County of Riverside from on-premise Microsoft services to cloud-based Office 365 service. I was the project manager for that. I was also the project manager for implementing their SharePoint solution, and I was the person that decided that we needed a governance process and governance committee, and I created both of those and still facilitate those to this day. So with all that in mind, knowing that maybe someday my career may take me elsewhere, I took everything that was built for our Department of Social Services and County of Riverside infrastructure, and I, in my own time, recreated that in my own SharePoint solution through Office 365. So I had my own account over here in Office in Microsoft, got my own tenant, SharePoint tenant, and slowly but surely replicated everything that I had built for the county, including rebuilding the templates that I had made. Of course, removing any specialty branding that I had originally applied over here and making it more generic over here. The idea being that if I was ever to take the show on the road, I would be able to recreate it based on that infrastructure that I had built. Now, that has served me well now with this job opportunity coming up where I'm going to indeed be tasked to do just that. So when I arrive at the new job, one of the first things I'll do is I'll ask, and I've already asked, to have a SharePoint infrastructure built to house the project management office, or at least all of our technology, our SharePoint infrastructure. And then I will begin customizing it. But that's going to take me, I would say, at least, depends on how hard I can work, 2 weeks to a month of dedicated time to build that infrastructure. And I won't have 2 weeks to a month to start showing results. Remember, in the first 30 days, I have deliverables that I've got to meet, a laundry list of things. And that was one of the first posts that I did in this series, was listing out that charter. So I have those deliverables that I need to do. So I can't be messing around building SharePoint sites. So what I did was the personal Microsoft site that I created, I took that list that I received from the IT manager and I began creating the sites there and the dashboard. And I will be able to hit the ground running and begin running the projects from that infrastructure. Now, that's not best practices to be running government organizations through private infrastructure. That's just going to be a stopgap measure to allow me to, during the day, or begin doing my work as a project manager, while at night I'm building the infrastructure in the city's SharePoint sites to begin migrating it all over. After that's all done, I'll be able to then carry on from the city site. What I'll do with the stuff over here is I'll strip out all the proprietary information, and I'm going to create a template infrastructure that could basically be reused over and over again for municipalities that want to have a SharePoint-based, maybe even a Q2PM-based project management office. And I'm going to be documenting all of this. Maybe, who knows, maybe my career will take me to yet another city or other type of government agency where I could do the same thing, or simply share it with others and allow them to do it themselves. In either case, I think that's a good effort to make the world a better place, which is my ultimate goal. Well, now the best thing I've got to do is to make my tummy and my family's tummies a better place. It's time to get busy with all my ingredients here, fire up the stove in the oven. All of you doing okay over there? How's the Christmas tree going? Rudy, you hiding in there? Oh, look at my daughter, left her clothes sitting on the bench there again. And she left my computer light on. All right, well, thanks for joining me. And remember, make every meeting matter. Take care for now.